Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to Bread Brothers. We're back again and we're here with my man, Sammy. Now, we're going to talk about Bitcoin. I know the market is crashing, guys, and it's quite depressing, but let's be realistic. Let's look at the charts. Let Sammy show us what's happening. Sammy, let's get into it.
All right, welcome back, Bread Brothers. So the market's had a bit of a dump recently, so nothing to be, scared of. But this is what it does. It's pulling back. There's a lot of things going on with the U.S. Federal Reserve that spooked the markets at the moment with fears of tapering. But what does that mean for us? Let's bring up the charts, and I'll show you what I am planning on doing. And this is just my own personal game plan. And you tell me what do you think, Ibi? So
I will tell you my opinion once you show all the charts, what I'm seeing, Sammy. So it'll be good to get two different opinions.
So my biggest concern here, Ibi, is last week's weekly candle. That weekly candle did close below our, September lows over here. So that was a local low. And, you've got a clear close below it. So that's a sign of weakness. And if we bring up some of our moving averages, you can see that we closed below the 50-week once, got up back above it, unable to hold it, and we closed below it, and we sunk right through. Yeah. So that 50-week moving average, unable to claim it, unable to hold above it, it's a pretty bad sign in my opinion. It's a sign of weakness for me. It's my first warning shot. That's the first warning shot, coupled with a full candle body close below this level is a next warning shot. So what am I going to do with those warnings in the market? I'm going to start positioning and de-risking myself from the market, meaning I'm going to start taking money out. Not right now. Taking any money out right now will be a really silly thing to do.
100%.
Because a couple of reasons why. We need to see a relief rally for it to happen. And I've got some key levels as well. So let's talk about how low we could go. Step one, we still haven't closed the daily below this level. If we do, that's another warning shot. Step two, how low can we go? And the hash ribbons indicator pretty much indicated in this region. So if you don't know about the hash ribbons indicator, is just to sum it up, it's an indicator on TradingView. You can add it on, and it usually flashes every now and then when it's a prime opportunity to buy. In Bitcoin's 12-year history, it's only flashed 18 times, and only one of those times price actually went below where it flashed from, and that was during the COVID pandemic dump that we saw in 2020. Bit of a black swan event. So 17 out of 18 times. That's a highly reliable indicator. I will play those odds. If you ask me in statistics, I will play those odds, if you know what I mean. So the hash ribbons indicator did flash in this region. Now, it doesn't mean that the price won't come back down and test it. It just means 17 out of 18 times, price never closed below it.
It's a good
Does
sign,
that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, so price never came back to revisit it. So very high confidence in this little region. So we've got that level to look out for. Last but not least, this is Ultimate Nuketown. So if we do close below, that 29K that we saw down here mid last year in that dump, that's a pretty much a lower low on the macro scale. You've put in a lower low on the weekly, on the midterm as well in this region, which we already have. And if we do a lower low here, that's pretty much a macro lower low. So that's bringing in the whole idea that this whole thing is a double top, starting to validate that idea. So for me, I think we are very close to bottom, and this is why. If I just pull a fib retracement on this region, Ibi, you can see that Bitcoin came down and is sitting on the 702, and the hash ribbon is perfectly on the 786. A lot of confluence. So if we don't hold this level, I'm expecting this level to be the last area that it might wick down to. So I think we're in that region of a potential reversal or sideways action. We're in that region to start talking about a potential bottoming. That's based on FIBS, and it works for me. So you're keeping up with me so far?
No, definitely. And even if you look on the VPRs, the VPR has a strong support along these lines as well.
Yeah, there is a lot of support cluster underneath these areas. So let's say that is the bottom. This is my ultimate move. Let's say that is the bottom. So we would get the swing high to the swing low to wherever the bottom may be. The bottom may be there, there. But for now, let's just pretend that wick is the bottom. I'll put my fibs on it, and I'll be looking at exiting. If we can get to the 382, take some of my altcoin positions out. Because remember, as Bitcoin climbs out, your altcoins will be surging as well. That's what we expect. Yeah. If we get to the 0.5 retracement, I'll be taking some more out, maybe another 20%. And if we get to this region, I'll be taking out another 50%. and seeing how altcoins perform. If this is the final, I do expect altcoins to perform better than Bitcoin in this rally higher. Now, the key for me is if Bitcoin can close above a daily closer above the 702 or the 786, for me, I'll be thinking that this market has got a lot more to go. That shows a sign of strength basically in IBI, because in every other bull run, when Bitcoin puts in its when Bitcoin puts in its dead cat bounce, it went to the top, it drops, and it puts in a dead cat bounce. That dead cat bounce has always come in that region of the 702. It's unable to go any higher. So for me, if I see a candle close above the 0.786 of the FIB retracement, anywhere that it goes, for me, that's a sign of strength by the bulls. And I will be looking at potentially re-entering money into the market, not at that point, but, on any dips and being very conservative. So does that make sense to you so far? So that's my game plan.
100%.
Sell it on the way up and watch what happens in this key level.
It's interesting that you say all this, because you and I were actually having these discussions on the last 2 episodes about the Bitcoin update market and see how where we're going and the bullish and the various scenarios. And it is literally hit everything that we talked about. Now, being honest here, guys, remember, if you watch the previous episodes, I was very bullish about where we're going and what it can happen. Then we talked about the bearish scenario, where we can go. I said my nuke is around the $37,000 to $30,000 mark. And it is showing that, that is showing that. Now, even when we looked at those charts, for me, it was the head and shoulders that kind of gave it away for me. That, the head and shoulders, I front run a lot of patterns, and I just saw it coming. And that's when I said, you know what, I'm not going to take this chance. I'm going to exit some of my profits out of there. And I did definitely take some of that. And I'm glad that I did. But at the end of the day, everyone has their own strategies. Sammy just was talking about his strategy, and I'm going to do the same thing. When there's the next bounce that happens around that $51,000, that if we do come up, guys, around that region, I am going to take a bit more profits, because I don't know where the market's going. I think there's still a bit of more downside. I know a lot of YouTube influencers and people on Twitter are saying, yes, we're bullish and we're still going. Just look at the charts. Go with your gut instincts. Do what you need to do. There's no right or wrong answer for this, because at the end of the day, you're in control of your finance. Because me and Sammy, for instance, we're just 2 guys having a chat. This is not financial advice.
Yeah, I want to just show a little bit more as well. So the only pattern that I'm trading on the midterm is this falling wedge that I see Bitcoin in. So if Bitcoin does put in a bounce, remember, falling wedge, I don't like to trade these diagonal line breakouts, because they can be fake outs. They can roll over and just go sideways. So my advice is to wait for a higher high. So pretty much a break above this region here, a break above this line will be a great opportunity to then start going long as well. But ultimately, I'll be taking it by that FIB. And also, let's have a look at quickly on the market updates at the moment. I know you don't like to look at this, but total, I just want to show you here on the total market cap of all of crypto. It is in a bearish trend. You got it, lower lows and lower highs. So even if we do move higher, I don't care what's happening, as long as take it level by level. This level needs to be broken first. And then once that's broken, it's still not in an uptrend until this level is broken pretty much. Do you know what I mean? Because if that level's broken, then that is your macro higher high that it's putting in. Then we could talk about bullish momentum. I do have my eye on the total 3, which is the total market cap of all of the altcoins. So no Bitcoin, no Ethereum. And at the moment, keep a close eye on this, because this is going to indicate what's going to happen to the altcoin market cap. It's basically a bearish head and shoulder. So if we do break below, expect some more downside. Another thing that I want to point out is the Bitcoin dominance as well. So we've been in this long pattern that you've seen me display a number of times.
Yes.
So we didn't get that glorious altcoin season that we showed our viewers last time. We did have a bounce here, and it looks like Bitcoin dominance is heading higher. I don't expect movement in altcoins until we get to this region here. We'll see what happens. Maybe it turns into an inverse head and shoulders. But if we do break that, it's completely Bitcoin season. Bitcoin is mostly outperforming your altcoins. So I wouldn't be holding too much altcoins or trying to trade altcoins in that region. Last notable mention, I'll make this quick. This is very important. It's USD dominance. It's how much USD is dominating the market. And you can see what we had recently, and the massive dump that happened is in this week. You had dominance break this region. It was a key region. I was keeping an eye on it. This was basically your warning shot sign in those weeks in Christmas. it was either make or break. That's how I knew. It's either dominance will come down, meaning USD will start flooding into altcoins, or dominance will pump up, meaning money in crypto will pump into USD and USD pump. So all I can say is the day that this blue line is breached and this comes falling down, that's the day of one hell of an altcoin season. That's going to be one hell of an altcoin season.
That's what we've been waiting for. Everyone's been talking about these like magical moonshots and but look, to be honest, guys, if you were entered in 2019, if you started to buy in 2019 and then you kind of was in the market last year, you made a lot of money. You actually did make a lot of money. And maybe that was the magical moonshot, but we didn't see anything crazy where all the alts were popping up left, right, and center. Do you reckon that's just because the market's becoming more mature now, Sammy? Like people are not so naive and there's a lot of information out there?
There is a lot of information, but there's a lot of dumb money as well. There's a lot of whale and manipulation. But keep an eye on these metrics. This is going to give you when the best opportunity you can get is pretty much when this line is broken. And remember, this is a rising channel and it's one of the biggest ones, going back 3 years. This rising broadening wedge is a bearish bias pattern. It should usually break bearish, 70% of the chance, 70% of the time. If we do get a break of this level, at 4.9%, you're looking at more pain in crypto because dominance is going up and dominance is putting in a macro high. So that's pretty much your bear market, I would imagine, if dominance goes back up. So keep an eye on this. I'll keep you guys updated when I see buy opportunities based on this movement.
Awesome. So guys, at the moment, the market is looking bearish. Story is not done yet. We're still waiting for the signals. As Sammy said, we're both on the fence at the moment. We're just waiting to see the right opportunities. We are going to take profits when on the next relief. Just because you rather have some, reserves. And, if the market, let's say, becomes bullish, then you can actually buy in. But if it becomes bearish, you don't want to lose all your profits. So probably our advice would be to you, Sammy, and to our viewers is basically there's no shame in taking something off the table because you just don't know where it's going to start and finish, right?
Absolutely. Manage your risk.
Yeah, it's major risk. Because at the end of the day, guys, it's all about risk management. Don't over leverage. Don't put anything that you can't afford to lose because, your friend might be telling you, yeah, I made so much X amount of dollars and so on. So, but you know what? Everyone's different. So you need to do what's right for you. That is it from us, guys. Nice and short and sweet. Just a quick update. We hope to see you on the next episode. The next episode is going to be about Chainlink. I'm super excited and we'll discuss why. Thanks, guys. See you on the next episode.